All right, Lene, it's recording.
Okay, thank you. Well, welcome everybody. So glad to have you here tonight at the YL Unstoppables Next Level Wellness classes. This is a functional health discussion, as I like to call it. My name's Lene, and I've been with Young Living for over 7.5 years. And the more I learn, the more I desire to learn. And because of this amazing community that is focused on health, not sickness, we are focused on health. I have learned so much about my own health and have just such a strong desire to share that with other people and have them grow in their health awareness and vitality. So, tonight, as far as functional health goes, I kind of want to talk and just put a disclaimer out there, okay? We are not doctors. I am a nurse. Tammy's a paramedic. Janet's a nurse. We have a massage therapist with Shelby. And so I don't know about the rest of you, but we are not doctors. We don't treat, cure, diagnose, or anything like that. So in our question and answer time, if things come up, I just wanted to let you know we will not speak to dis-ease or illness. We speak about health and ways to support our body in the best way possible. So if you have questions that pertain to a certain um, situation that is maybe disease focused, um, we can guide you in maybe the steps to or the resources to look into for yourself so you can make the best decision possible and then seek your doctor, your medical professional's opinion as far as what you should do. So just putting that out there. And there will be testimonies shared tonight, and that's just what they are. They are testimonies, people's own stories of what they've gone through and the oils and supplements and things that they've done to help them on their own journey. So everybody is different. So just because one thing worked for somebody doesn't mean it's going to be a cure all for you as well. So just so we have that understanding, now we can move forward to the fun part. But functional health, the reason I talk about it like that is because we do have that desire to have our the focus be health and not medicine. Okay, we don't do medicine; we do healthy things. So I think all of you have probably heard of the discussion or the idea of, well, that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? So in my opinion, the tip of the iceberg is today's current health system. What you see above, that's today's current health system. Oh, you see the problem, boom, here's something to fix it. But what we don't realize is what is below the surface that is creating that foundation for that situation to come up or even happen. So, what we want to share tonight is ways to support the foundation, ways to look at and help our bodies at that foundational level. With my own health journey, years ago, I had like when I first started my cycle as a teenager or junior high or whatever, I had horrible issues, horrible issues, would bleed for months, or not months, but weeks. And so went through all of that. And then I had seizures. And then I had thyroid issues. I've always had weight issues and like thing after thing. And then I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to have children. So all these things, and I was kind of getting like, okay, well, you take this birth control so that you won't bleed. Okay, but why am I bleeding? Right? So that's what functional health is getting to that cause. What is causing that bleeding to happen at an undesirable rate, right? Um, and then with my thyroid issues and PCOS and all those things, well, finally, because of Young Living, actually, I started searching more to get to that root cause. And what I realized is that I actually have a genetic error that causes a lot of these things to happen. I don't know if many of you have heard of MTHFR. I'm not going to go into what exactly that is, um, because it's a long word and I don't have it in front of me to pronounce it correctly. But you can Google MTHFR. It sounds like a bad word to me when when I say that. So, anyway, look it up. But what it does, it basically tells your body doesn't methylate or process B vitamins. And when you don't process certain B vitamins, then that sets off a cascade of events. So, when you're talking about functional health, sometimes it means getting down to the genetics of your body. What are you having going on? You wouldn't know looking at me that I have a genetic error, right? There's probably 85% of the people in the world that have MTHFR and have no idea. It actually can cause certain levels in your body to go up that would cause clotting, that could lead to heart attacks, that could lead to high blood pressure, and all those things. So when we're looking at getting to the root cause of something, sometimes getting to the genetics of your body is key. And then I started on a methylated B vitamin that I'll be on for the rest of my life. And that supports my body, but my body also can't process metals well. So, what do we have in our fillings that from way back when? My body's constantly being exposed to mercury. So, I'm getting those removed. So, those are some of the things that we discuss on a functional health level. Have you considered having your um, micronutrients tested, meaning those specific vitamins and minerals that don't show up on a that that you actually have to ask your doctor for, because when you go to your doctor for your annual health checkup, it's probably just a basic chemistry, kind of shows what your sugar, what your glucose, what your glucose is, what your sodium is, your blood count, those kinds of things. So getting your micronutrients tested to know your vitamins and minerals and all your hormone levels is going to be key to know what's at the foundation, what's below the surface. Because honestly, if your vitamin D is super low, well, guess what? That affects a whole lot of other things, organ systems in your body. So, um, I was just at my doctor's office on Monday, and thankfully, so thankful that our doctor is holistically minded and doesn't throw things at us just because we have choices. And so I'm very thankful for those choices. And he gives me all the information that he has, and then helps me make that decision. Then I come to that decision on my own. But what he did share with me, because I was talking to him, I'm like, hey, you know, there's all this stuff going on in the world. How can we best support our bodies, right? What are some supplements that I can take to best support my body, my kids' bodies, because it was for my daughter that we were there. And he's like, well, actually, a study just came out today, and this was Monday, that a study just came out today that showed how critical the microbiome is. And Tammy's going to talk about the gut later, so I won't go into great detail, but the microbiome has to deal with the gut flora. And he said there's a specific, and I wish I would have written this down in my phone so I could repeat it to you, but I will do my best to. I'm asking him for that study, what that study is, so I can share it in our group on our Facebook page. But he said that the study showed that there's a certain bacteria that when that's at higher levels in your microbiome, you actually handle the bug that's going around way better than if you had lower levels. So there's no probiotic that you can take that would increase this specific bacteria. But one of the things that you can take is vitamin C. He's like, believe it or not, vitamin C actually increases this specific bacteria. Well, and guess what Young Living has? We have an amazing vitamin C supplement. So, Super C, I take the chewable. There's a tablet for a capsule form as well. So you can look into what the difference is. I'm not going to take time to go into that tonight, but there's 2 vitamin C supplements. So if you want to do anything to support your body right now and give yourself the best chance possible to fight off what goes around, make sure you're taking vitamin C and a quality vitamin C, because what's out there in the on the store shelves is mostly sawdust and your body's not going to absorb it. So I'm very thankful that Young Living has one that our body actually absorbs. He said that's number one. And the second one that he suggested is vitamin D. And we also have vitamin D. You take a couple tablets, put them under your tongue, and it's absorbed that way. So don't just swallow them. You won't get the full benefit of them. So just put them under your tongue or chew them a little bit and then put them under your tongue and just kind of let that stuff absorb through your mouth that way. And then if for whatever reason you end up getting a certain bug, you can take, there's a drug that also is helping a lot of people that actually increases that bacteria, which is why it's being so helpful. Starts with an I and ends with an N and has a ver something in the middle. So anyway, there are things out there to support your body, but make sure you're getting down to the root. So when was the last time you had your vitamins and minerals checked? When was the last time? And make sure that your levels, any lab values that you have checked, are in the optimal range. This is the optimal range, okay? It's about this big. This is the normal range. So many doctors will say, hey, you're in normal, you're fine. Well, then why do I feel like, ugh, okay? Especially when it comes to thyroid numbers, which is what I have. So I'm very passionate about my thyroid and helping other people make sure their thyroid numbers are in the optimal range, not the normal. Everything needs to be in balance. And when one is maybe a little over this way and another one is over this way, they're going to be out of balance and you're not going to feel as good. So things need to be in optimal value. And there are so many supplements that Young Living has to bring your body in balance. So go see your doctor, get those lab values, and then seek someone out that can help you bring your body back into balance. And I'm going to pass it on to the next person.
Woo! Thank you, Lene. I love being sandwiched between Lene, who's like a science, nurse and everything, and then Tammy's going to speak next. And so, she's green with all this knowledge because I'm just a blue, y'all. I'm here to share my story and my personal testimony. And the science, if you want it, you can go find it. Because I'm not a science person. I didn't really like dissecting things in science or blowing things up. I'm blowing things up this fun. Okay, so my name is Shelby. I've got 2 oily babies. I live in Oklahoma, and I wanted to share what I consider, what I call living above the wellness line. Okay, that's what I always call it. Instead of like functional medicine or functional health, I just say I live above the wellness line. That's what I do. Okay, so for me, I honestly have a hard time. 6 years ago, I signed up for Young Living. So I've been with Young Living for 6 years. What did I do? What did I do before Young Living? I honestly don't understand. Like, I guess I just waited until the symptoms were so bad of whatever was going on with my body. And then I went and got help. I honestly racked my brain and I'm like, what did I do? Because now I have preventative care. Now I live above the wellness line. Now I don't wait around. It's so funny because I just got in this new relationship and he's like, you are nuts. Because when somebody coughs, who coughed? You coughed? Okay, come here. I've got a roller blend already made up. The kids are back in school. And there was a text message sent out that said, hey, This and this is going around. Awesome, cool. So I pulled out my reference guide and I immediately started supporting the body. Immediately. I do not wait. Okay. And so one of the main things that I want to talk about tonight is having children and raising them up. You guys, it's not too late, right? It's not too late. It's never too late. Everyone always likes to talk like doom and gloom, the world. Y'all, we are the change. We are the ripple effect. Okay. There are billions of babies born every single day. Okay, every single day there are babies being born. So we can't give up. We can't just say, well, it is what it is. We did this and everything turned out fine. Like Lene said, you know, I mean, but she was saying with the imagery, you know, oh, just deal with the side effects or deal with what's going on. No. So with my children, Henry's 3, Zoe's 6, and, you know, I asked them, you know, if they're coughing, I'm like, does your throat hurt? And they're like, yeah. And then I'm okay, let me make you a tea. This is when I first got with Young Living. I call it a tea. It's not really a tea. It is a drop of thieves, a drop of lemon, and some honey and some hot water. Vitality, of course. And they drink it. And it's good. It's warm. It's soothing. The more honey, if it's too spicy, the more honey, right? Okay, so I started doing that. I mean, when I started oiling, the whole family did. Okay, so when you start, you know, your whole family needs to be exposed to this, whether they do it or not. They can at least try it once and be exposed to it. Okay, so fast forward, Henry wakes up the other day and he's like, hey, Mom, can I have a tea? And I'm like, of course. So I make him a tea and I'm like, is your throat hurting? And he has a little cough. And so, you know, I pull out, I love our, the Thieves chest rub that's like handless or whatever. You just roll it on. I love that. I stuck it in his backpack with a little sticky note and told his teacher, if he gets to coughing, roll that on. And they're really good about that. So I do that, you know, preventative care, right? I mean, he's telling me, right? So our body tries to tell us what's going on ahead of time. So if we listen to the cues, then we can be on top of it, you know? So preventative care, think ahead. Okay, I like to think ahead of what I use, like for my like subscribe and save order. If I don't really know what to order, which is not a lot, but if I don't know what to order, I like to think ahead. Okay, so to different seasons, right? And then I use my reference guide. You guys, if you don't have a reference guide, you need a reference guide. Okay, so you can look up different things. If you have children or grandchildren or know someone with a baby, y'all need Gentle Babies by Deborah Rayburn. Okay, so you get your reference guide. You got your Gentle Babies, which is like, it tells you everything you need to know for children, dilution rate, what's safe, what's not. And that way, when someone reaches out to you, you're not diagnosing or anything like that. You're saying, hey, here's this from this reference guide. Okay, so use your reference guides. Look ahead to different seasons, right? And then Young Living already makes it easy. So we already have rollers, you know, Thieves for Immune. We already have capsules, MU Pro, Life 9. You know, I mean, just think ahead and use the easy button, have things already in store, because you don't want things to pop up like, oh, I don't have pine and frankincense or geranium and lemon. I don't have those. What? Yes, you do, because you thought ahead and you already ordered them. And yes, you do, because what you're doing is you're getting all the oils and then you're getting all the things that are free on Subscribe and Save, the gifts with purchases. So you're stocking up, right? You're always being prepared. Okay. And then also you can make suppositories. You guys, YouTube is great if you don't know how to make them, but they're super, super simple. Or shoot me up. I made a TikTok on suppositories, how to make them and use them. Okay. I know everybody's like, let's raise up children that don't think it's weird to support our bodies. Let's raise up children that don't go, oh, what the heck? They say, oh my gosh, I want to live optimal. Oh my gosh, I want to feel better tomorrow instead of 2 months from now. Okay, so I'm going to share a little personal story with mine. You know, I'm a massage therapist and I touch people for a living, and I have worked the entire time. I never took time off. I personally never wore a mask. It's my choice. You step into my massage room and it's mine. And I came home and I was not, you guys, I listened to my body. I know myself. Just wasn't feeling myself. And I knew I needed to support my body. So I immediately, you guys, I don't wait. I immediately was like, okay, I'm going to take a detox bath, which is 1 cup Epsom salt, 1 cup baking soda, and you can put whatever oils that you want, whatever you're drawn to, right? I chose that night Dorado Azul, okay, which now I look at that and I'm like, okay, that's a powerhouse oil. Dorado Azul, and it's 20 minutes in as hot as you can stand it. I've done this several times with different oils. I've done detox baths. I have never sweated so much in my life. Like even now, I take them again when I don't feel well. I have never sweated as much as I did that night. I was so hot and sweaty. My hair was drenched. I was sweating something out. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is real. This is real, right? I mean, we do all the things, like 6 years later, I still get surprised at like things working. But anyways, I was sweating so bad. So I took that, and my mom washed my kids, and I put it in my diffuser by my bed, thieves in the diffuser. I took MU Pro and just oiled up, just regular stuff, right? Thieves on my spine, peppermint on my spine or whatever. And I slept. And when I wake up, I just do the supplements again. I think I did vitamin C, like Lene said, vitamin D. I had C, D, MU Pro. Is that MU Power or MU Pro? Whichever one's the supplement. I always get, I think MU Power, whatever the supplement is. Power. Okay. And so I did that, and literally the next day, I felt better. And I did lose, people are still talking about their smell and stuff, like coming back, and not, I did not have smell for 1 day. How weird is this? 1 day. And that's another reason I was like, oh, 1 day. The next day I had it back. And I almost thought it was a fluke deal, but I stuck thieves up my nose to see if I could smell it, and it was burning and I couldn't smell it. So I knew that I had lost it for 1 day. And I was like, I still just said, I think, was that a dream? Was that a haze? But you guys, immediately, I listen to my body, I take care of it. Okay. I digress. Okay. So use your reference guides, think ahead, make capsules, rollers, suppositories, preventative care. Don't beat yourself up. You only know what you know. You didn't know it yesterday. You know it today. Move on. Last thing I'm going to talk about. So Lene was talking about the micronutrients, doing blood work, doing stuff like that. I do something different. It's similar to, so we have the Zytoscan, and then we also have the Itovi, right? I think you guys have heard those. Now those deal with what's going on acute. That deals with what's going on right now in your body, right? So if you were to go out and get in a car accident, it would tell you like stuff for whiplash, or it would tell you probably cortisol levels, right? Stress levels, whatever. Those are acute. So I do a thing, and you guys will have to Google. I don't know who does it around you, maybe ask in your oil groups and stuff, but there's this thing called bioenergetic screening. Okay. Bioenergetic screening. And what it is, it goes off your energy. And the lady that I go to, and I've been going to her for 3 years, since COVID and stuff happened, we just do a swab of our, like on a Q-tip, and we mail it in, and then she calls me and tells me over the phone. Okay. And this screening is actually, I'm going to read it from this paper because she sends me a paper and stuff. It says, picture your body as an onion. Throughout your life, you have added one toxic layer after another. The outer layer is always the one that is the most critical to your life, right? The acute, and causing the most problems at that time. Bioenergetic screening will always want to address what is most critical, which is the outer layer. So if you get scans as directed, we will actively work on the outermost layer as we peel back layers to healthier you. We will eventually address what you feel is the root cause of your issue. Okay, so the outside is not the acute, the inside is, I guess. But anyways, as we peel back layers to a healthier you, you will eventually address what you feel is the root cause of your issue. However, we will not address it before it is time. Okay, because a lot of times, like, you think what's going on, like I said, like, we listen to our bodies, we deal with that, but sometimes it can be emotional. Okay, emotional. Another book that I like is Releasing Emotional Patterns. That's another thing. So your reference guide, your baby book by Deborah Rayburn, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils, because sometimes it's emotional. You think something's going on, and maybe you're trying to release something, right? Anyway, so that's what I do. I do scans. I do have a Zytoscan. So sometimes I do a Zytoscan, and then every 3 months I do this bioenergetic scan. And what time is it? Oh shoot, I was going to share one more story real quick. No, we'll go next. Okay. I can tell stories all night because this is something we're also passionate about, you guys, which I'm sure you guys are too. But Tammy, take it away with all of your green information.
Okay, as you can see, I just walked in the door. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm out on the patio. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. So my name is Tammy, and I have been using Young Living essential oils since November of 2014. So just about 7 years. And boy, I wish I knew what I knew before I knew what I knew. While I was researching and collecting information for this class, I learned a lot about what I could have done better. And so that's why I want to share this with you guys. First of all, I have like a traditional doctor. And when I found out I was pregnant, I chose not to hire a pediatrician. I chose to hire a general practice doctor so that all three of us could see the same person, because I figured if one of us has an ailment going on, chances are the other two may have the same thing. This way we can all just go see the same doctor. That is the way that I was thinking when I hired my pediatrician. I would not, or when I hired my general practice doctor over a pediatrician, I would not do things any differently, because she listens. She doesn't just hand out scripts to fix something. She likes to try to dig and get to the root. She's not holistic. She is very much a traditional Western medicine doctor, but she is phenomenal. She takes the time, she listens to us. She will sneak us in when somebody's feeling a little under the weather. I found out like 3 days before we started cross country, he needed a physical. She snuck him in, got the physical done so that he could start running on time. The day that she found out that I was in labor, she actually cleared her schedule and she came to the hospital and she delivered my son. So, and that was the first day that I met her. I was hooked from then. She always makes time for us and she doesn't ever make us feel rushed. And so I feel a little, bad that we are putting healthcare above sick care, because I really do love to spend time with her, but I would rather spend my money on prevention and wellness rather than waiting and spending my money on sickness. So there are a few simple things that you can do to basically to beef up your immune system. One of them is just to wash your hands. Wash your hands frequently. And the thing is, you see people washing their hands like this, that actually you want to make sure that you're washing the surfaces that you touch things with. So fingertips, under your nails, and you want to wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And you want to use a soap that has alcohol in it. Thieves Foaming Hand Soap. I believe most of our foaming hand soaps have denatured alcohol, and our alcohol is denatured with peppermint. And our soaps don't dry out your hands. They're phenomenal. They kill all the germs. If you are not able to wash your hands, if you don't have soap and water available, Thieves hand sanitizer is phenomenal. I never used hand sanitizer until I got Thieves, because traditional hand sanitizers stink and they dried out my hands. Then I found Thieves hand sanitizer, and it's aloe based and it nourishes your hands, and it's amazing. I cannot say enough. I am so glad that we have Thieves hand sanitizer right now with everything that's going on, because we use a lot of it. You can clean up your cleaning routine. And by that, I mean, get rid of the toxins in your house. I used to have a surface cleaner for like every surface. I had a floor cleaner, a stovetop cleaner, a window cleaner, a toilet bowl cleaner, a tub and tile cleaner. I have replaced all of those toxins. We don't use bleach. We don't use ammonia. We don't use any of those toxic substances anymore. We have replaced all of those with Thieves Household Cleaner. Think about anything that you inhale, anything that you get on your skin, your body has to filter that out. And if your body is busy filtering those chemicals out, it has a harder time doing what we really need it to do, which is to support wellness and build up our immune system. We should be getting, on average, 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Some of us don't need as much. Some of us need more. So if you have a hard time with getting your recommended allotment of sleep, Develop a bedtime routine. Don't do exercise like right before you try to get into bed. I like to throw the oils that I use into my diffuser about a half hour before we go to bed. My son does the same thing in his, and just kind of let the room fill up with those amazing aromas that are going to help you get nice restful sleep. Some of them that I like to use are lavender, peace and calming, stress away, all of those, anything that helps you relax is a good sleep oil. Orange is a great one too. Thieves and lavender is one of my go-tos at night. We also have supplements that can help you with sleep. Life 9 is one that I take in the evening, and Sleep Essence on those nights, especially if I'm traveling, which I haven't done a whole lot lately, but I save Sleep Essence for those nights when I know that I really need to get a lot of sleep, or the nights that I'm traveling and I don't always sleep the best when I'm not in my own bed. KidSense Unwind is a fabulous one, even for adults. I have used that one on occasion. And ImmuPro. ImmuPro is great for kids or adults. It's a chewable. So and I think it's wolfberry based, so it doesn't taste that bad either. And then the CBD Calm Roller is one that I have recently added, and just kind of base of the neck, on the wrists, like wherever you need to put it. And I've gotten really good sleep with that too. Another thing that you can do is find a way to manage your stress. I know I function kind of on a triage triage level a lot of times. Lene told you that I'm an EMT, so my triage brain, I function, or that's the way that I function. Hang on, the wind blew my notes. Sorry about that. But the thing is, for extended periods of time, that much stress is not a good thing. So I have to find ways. Some of the ways that I like to de-stress are just taking the dog for a walk, or going for a run, or doing some kind of exercise to get your brain off of whatever you're stressing about and release some of those endorphins that make you feel good. Again, we have oils that help. Pretty much the same oils that you use for sleep will also help you with stress. I also like to include like Palo Santo, Sacred Frankincense, Valor. Those are kind of my de-stressing oils. Yoga is a great way to manage stress, and meditation is also fabulous. You can find a lot of free meditation on YouTube. There's apps that you can use to meditate. Sometimes, just sit in a dark room, shut all the noise off, shut all the lights off, just close your eyes and relax for a few minutes. If you have a busy brain like I do, it actually took practice for me to sit there. So my first goal was like a minute, and I had to keep shutting my brain off. But the longer you do that, the better that you will get at it. And now I can just take 5 minutes, shut all the noise off. And actually these earbuds cancel out noise. So if I'm in a very loud place, I just put the earbuds in and don't put anything in them, and they will still cancel out the noise. So now we get to the big one, which is supporting or improving our gut health. 80% of your immune system lies within your gut. And that totally blew me away. That statistic totally blew me away. And 90% of sickness and disease starts in your gut. So this really is like, if you are going to focus on one thing, this is a big one, but this is going to get you probably the biggest benefit. Thomas Edison, way back when Thomas Edison, he is quoted as saying, "Doctors of the future will give no meds, but will interest their patients in the care of their human frame, in diet, and in the cause and prevention of disease." So that really is what we're talking about here. So what are some indications that you may have something off in your gut? As I'm sitting here rubbing my neck, stiff, sore muscles, chronic pain. If you're unable to lose weight, you've tried diets, you've tried exercise, and you can't seem to lose weight. Sleep disturbances. The 3 big ones that I have found are usually hormones, stress, or what is the other one? Pain. Hormones, stress, or pain are the 3 that I have found working with the people that I do. Constipation can be a sign that your gut is off. Headaches, anxiety and depression, if you have unexplained inflammation in your body, skin issues. So if you have a lot of acne, if you have uneven skin tones, if you have low energy, or if you have anything going on with your brain, such as migraines, those can all be signs. So think of all of those different body systems that you would think of, and a lot of that can start in the gut. So by cleaning up your gut, you may be able to clean up a lot of things that are going on. So what is your gut? It's basically, think of it as a tube from where the food goes in to where the food comes out. So it starts at the mouth, and as you start to eat and chew, digestive enzymes are released, goes down to your esophagus, down into your stomach, and your small intestines are where most of your nutrients are absorbed. The large intestine, actually, there's bacteria in your large intestine that helps with digestion and detoxification. Your liver, your pancreas, your gallbladder, those are all parts of your gut, and the colon and the rectum. So 30% of the United States population has some form of IBS. That's a third. That's 1 in 3 people have some form of IBS. 84% of those cases is caused by overgrowth of bad bacteria in your gut. So when I say cleaning up one thing, which, like I said, it's a big thing, cleaning up your gut health is going to make a huge difference in your overall health. Your microbiome is mostly in the large intestines, and that is set by about age 3. You're born with some of it, and then by the age of 3, it has developed to pretty much where it is today. It is very well documented that exposure to dirt, bacteria, and animals, I have a great house for this, but that aids in the development of a healthy immune system. So take your shoes off, take a walk outside, go dig in your garden. That's therapeutic anyway. Sit in the sun, get dirty. It's okay. Some of the things that can damage your gut, antibiotics. And like I said, my doctor, she's not always throwing antibiotics at us. So now I'm very, very grateful that I have the doctor that I have. Antacids are another thing. Anti-inflammatory meds. So if you think of what I said before, and now think of, it's like I have inflammation, which could have started in the gut, and now I'm going to take an anti-inflammatory. So that's just going to compound what may be going on. Medications that are used to lower cholesterol and blood pressure can have a negative effect on the gut. Hormone replacements, birth control eats away at the lining of your stomach. Stress, we talked about stress. 70% of physician visits are stress-related ailments. Think about that for just a minute. So if we can manage our stress and visit the doctor less, not that we don't like them, but manage the problem, don't just try to treat the symptom. Alcoholism is another thing that is not good for the gut. Pollution, whether it's environmental or putting bad things in your body, exposure to toxins of any kind, and processed sugar is a big one. So some of the things that you can do to heal your gut. If we stop damaging our body can start to heal itself. And some of the things that we can do to help with that are eating fermented foods, things like yogurt and kombucha. Did I say that right? Those are two of my favorites. I also like bone broth. You can eat the healthy fats, and then enzymes and omegas. And Young Living has several different types of enzymes. I'm using 2 of them currently, the essential enzymes for it and the detoxzyme. And then we also have omegas. So don't just treat the symptom, find out the cause so that you can treat what's going on instead of just putting the Band-Aid on it. And you cannot out supplement a bad diet. And Sherry is going to tell us why what we eat matters.
Hi, friends. So I am Sherry Hester. I live in Savannah, Georgia. I've been with Young Living for about 12 years. And well, exactly 12 years. I just had my oil anniversary. And I feel like Shelby coming after Tammy, like I don't know the science and the numbers, but I know my body. And I want to encourage you to know yours. That is the key, right? So I came to the oils probably like I would say 90% of you. I came to the oils because I had an issue and I was doing traditional conventional medicine and it was not working. And I was very, very sad and frustrated. So when I discovered the oils and they changed my physical problems, I knew that I had stumbled on something amazing. And that 12 years ago was the beginning of a whole new world opening up, which was, and I kind of always was a little bit on the natural side. Like I didn't like to take things if I didn't have to, but this was just a whole new world about listening listening to my body. And that's what I want to encourage you to do, because the more that we can become in tune with our body, it's just like what Shelby said. When you can catch something preventively, when you can catch something at the beginning, become such a detective of your body that you know when you're just slightly off, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why do my eyes feel heavy? What's going on? What's going on? And okay, so yes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about food because it's one of my passions. Nutrition is one of my passions. And I want to tell you something. I just came back. I'm a plant-based eater, and I just came back from the National Health Association conference. And you know what I learned there? These are doctors. These are doctors that are talking here. And went to graduate from medical school, I believe that the very most that you get trained in nutrition is about 4 hours or none. The most is 4 hours. There is not one question on the final exam about nutrition to become a doctor. And as any of you know, especially those of you who are teachers, guess what? We teach to the test, right? So if there's nothing on the test about nutrition, we're not going to teach it, probably, right? So this, I'm just saying, just be aware, just know that when most probably, unless you're one of those very fortunate ones like a lot of us here are, who have found amazing doctors who are a combination of everything, and like that's like the best of both worlds and it's amazing. But a lot of doctors out there aren't going to know nutrition. I had a friend who had cancer, and I know you have stories like this too, right? And he just he just said, "Oh, it doesn't matter what you eat, just eat anything. I'm just worried about you not eating. Just eat anything." Oh. So so we've got to be our own researcher. We've got to know our own bodies. I know right now when I eat sugar, and I'm not saying I never eat sugar, I have a sweet tooth. But when I do, I feel it immediately. I get a headache. I mean, it's just like my body's like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I know. And sometimes, you know what? It's worth the headache. It's a choice. It's a choice, but it's an awareness. That's the thing. The more we can become aware of our body and what makes us feel good and what makes us feel not so good, then we make the better choice. And the more better choices we make, the better, the closer we get to that optimum health. And it's all, like we've been saying tonight, it's all preventative. So, and I think Tammy just said this, and I like to reiterate it. What I usually call my introductory class that I teach is Find Your Fabulous. That's the name of my class, because we've got to find our fabulous. What makes you feel fabulous? You cannot, I hate to say it, but this is the truth. There's not an oil out there that's going to get rid of your high cholesterol. if you're going to eat McDonald's every night. I wish there was, but there's just not, right? I love my oils. I bow down to my oils. I can't live without my oils, but this is just a fact. So we've got to look at the bigger picture. There's lots of other things that are involved. Tammy mentioned emotions, big, Shelby did too, right? Like there's so many factors, but food, please be your own researcher. Look into, I can't say enough about the sugar. It's just, I'm sorry. And I have a sweet tooth. I told you that, but you it does nothing good for your body, just nothing. And so I want to talk for a second about another piece of my story is my parents. Okay. Both of my parents have passed and both of them had dementia. My eyes were opened. They were in a nursing home at the end. And when I saw how many things, like they were both on medication because they were being treated for all of the individual, like the high cholesterol, the high blood pressure, the diabetes, whatever, like all of the medicine for particular things. And then I saw what they were feeding them. And there was nothing nutritious on those plates. Nothing. Even when there was vegetables on there, they were cooked so long and so soggy that there was nothing left. So it just created this desire in me to help. And I'm just passionate about end of life care and nutrition specifically, but just treating people. There's things that are worse than death. We know this, right? And sometimes living a long life in ill health, not knowing who you are, who your children are, it's so much worse. And there's so many things that we can do right now to protect ourselves. And a lot of it starts with what you put in your mouth. The sugar, the processed foods, just stay away, right? And Tammy's talked about all the toxins that we put on our body, and there's toxins we put in our body. So I'm just very passionate about this, and I think that it makes such a difference, and it's preventative. I mean, why wait? Let's just do everything today that we can do to build up our body to be the utmost. And isn't that really what our oils are? Oils are not a cure for anything, but they are there to support our body and bring it up to its highest level, to what we were created to be. So I'm a little bit passionate about that. Okay. So I think I said most of what I wanted to say. So with that, I just want to encourage you to be your own detective with your body and to take care of yourself, because only you can take care of yourself. We go to doctors and we let them tell us what's wrong with us, but our body knows, when you're not feeling well. So just listen. I think we would love to have any Q&A, a little Q&A session now. If anyone has any questions or testimonials, things that you would like to share that work for you, that help you be at your best in a functional manner. Anybody have any thoughts about that?
I will say a couple things. I'm everything else said. I'm really big on all of that. Polymorphisms, the genetics, MTHFR, COMT, all of those. Lynetta, I'm very, very big on all of that kind of stuff. And ever since Western medicine shut down my adrenals and put me on bed rest for years and years, everything is a negotiation. Everything's a conversation. I research everything. So people here that know me, all know my story in this, but and it's been a process. I started oils. My first oils I got in 1998. I didn't become committed to them until about 2005. And the hospitalization that messed everything up happened between 98 and 2005. So if I just listened to my mother, don't ever tell her I said that. If I listened to her, I never would have ended up in the hospital. So I am big on this. And in all of the recovery, I'm big on testing. You know, I don't take medicines that until I've researched them all, but I'll do any testing that doesn't involve radiation and chemicals. So, and I will say one of the things that made the biggest change in my whole life I had asthma and allergies, and I knew there was something, and I knew it was a preservative of some kind. And I did one of those hair tests that was like $50 and found out what that was. And that got me off of the rest of the antihistamines that I'd been on for my entire life. Diet changes. And when someone comes to me, I have a lot of people on my team that have genetic polymorphisms and have a lot of autoimmune diseases. That happens to be kind of like that's who I draw. And I just say, you know, do this. You have got to test these things. You have to know what they are. And they result in dietary changes. The worse you have, the worse your symptoms are. I mean, I've had 2 people that were diagnosed with lupus that were on chemo drugs to control their lupus, chemo drugs for the rest of their lives. They're not on them anymore. They're on Young Living now. But the worse your stuff is, the more your diet has to change, the more severe. But you can go on those diets and do everything that you think and not get rid of your symptoms without knowing things like, for me, it's sodium benzoate is the worst thing. Benzoic acid is what I can't take. But I have someone who's allergic to cauliflower. Other people, it'll be sugar substitutes. Obviously, we know you don't want to deal with saccharin and things like that, but it might be something that I have a problem with chickpeas. I love hummus. I eat a ton of hummus. I have to make it now with zucchini or another type of bean just because I have it. And so those simple tests, they seem so simple. I mean, they're $50, the hair, the other things, those. And then when you get into those polymorphisms, and it's not just MTHFR, all those others, it just made such a difference. And then to find that I can do better with my oils and my supplements than I could ever do with any medication. It's just amazing. So that's just my 2 cents, since that goes in hand with what you guys are saying. But thank you guys for having the class tonight. It's wonderful.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. That was really, really rich. Thank you for that. That helped a lot.
And, you know, I'll just piggyback on that. You don't know until you know, right? And so this was the story that I was going to tell you, but I was like, I don't know time, you know. But with that scan, that bioenergetic scan, I had the lady that I go to, like, we're not friends on Facebook. I mean, she's just the person I go to, but she doesn't really know anything on my personal life. Okay. So I was going to go to I was going to go to Uganda, Soul Hope, and go there. Okay. Well, I wasn't fully vaccinated. I needed something that you can only get. They don't even make it anymore. It's probably, we don't even know. Okay. Don't judge me. Okay. I wanted to go to Soul Hope and you either get it here in the United States or you get over there and they'll give it to you on their land in the airport. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So, okay, I go get the vaccination. Okay. And then I was just feeling off. So I did a scan and the lady called me and she was like, I don't understand. And I'm like, what? And she was like, I don't understand what's going on. I said, why? And she said, the scan is telling me that you have a vaccination stuck in your gut. And she's like, you're 30 years old. Why would you be getting a vaccination? And I said, actually, I just did. And she said, oh my gosh. And so then she gave me the protocol and we talked about all the stuff and I did what I needed to do. You guys, like, it gives me goosebumps right now. It's nuts. And I'm interested, I'll probably message you later, Elizabeth, but every time Henry does the scan, it says there's blue dye that's affecting him. I cannot figure out what blue dye is. We don't buy new jeans. Okay, that's another story for another thing. But you don't know until you know. And then when you know, you do better. So do the testing, know your body, listen to your body. That's my 2 cents. My kids are coming.
And if I'll just put this out there, if you are wanting to do this testing and you're not sure if your doctor will do it for you or you don't want to have to deal with it, Dr. Dan Purser, MD, I think his I think his website is danpursermd.com. I believe that's what it is. He does virtual visits, and he has what's called a Spectre cell analysis. And so you can just go directly to his website and order that. And then he has some other testing on there that he'll do. And I think some of the testing comes with like a 15-minute consult with him. But he's actually the doctor that helped develop Progessence Plus. So that's just a resource for you to go to if you want to have like all that information. And you can also have like the the polymorphism, different tests, the genetic tests done. You can have all that done, and he has a supplement too. The supplement that I have to take for the MTHFR, Young Living does not carry yet. That's what I'll say. So, but I think there's enough people in Young Living that maybe I think I just need to email product support. So anyway, that's a good resource for you.
I have a question. Am I unmuted?
You are. Go ahead, Janet.
Okay. I'm wondering, I have questions about the, what is it, Master Cleanse? When you do that, do you have to go to the bathroom a lot, or is it kind of controllable?
Oh, well,
Blowouts all over the
we've got quite a few here that have done the Master Cleanse. Raise your hand if you've done the Master Cleanse, so we can all see. Yes, okay. So you've got a wonderful a group here. I mean, the short answer is yeah, you go to the bathroom a lot, right? That's the short answer. But yeah, there's ways that you can still totally go on with your day. There's little tricks. So yes, I think any of us would be happy to chat with you about that. And I am a real strong proponent of the Master Cleanse. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to start another one. I try to do at least 4 a year. So this will be my 4th one this year. But yeah, it's fabulous. It'll clean you out. Just think like all the stuff that has been there for years and years and years. And it putrefied. What's the word? It gets hard. Yeah, that's it. That's what it does.
Constipation.
So yeah, it's amazing. And you just really feel so much better. Does anyone else want to say anything to her about the Master Cleanse? I know we got a lot of cleansers here.
Before I start any cleanse, Master Cleanse, or I'm going to do any kind of diet, anything like that, I always start with yeast treatment, and I do a salt flush the day before. And the salt flush kind of empties out your intestines. You'd have to be close to home for like 2 hours. But I do that. And then when I start the Master Cleanse the next day, I go to the bathroom a lot, but I don't feel like I have to be home near a bathroom. It just kind of like starts and cleans out all the stuff that's just really fast in my system. And then everything else is better for the rest of the cleanse. I try to make it 10 days. I usually make it about 7. And I don't find that I have that where I feel like I work from home. So it's really easy for me, but I still don't feel like I'm afraid to go to the store because I'm having so many problems. I don't have any of that. But I do start with a salt flush the day before.
And what's a salt flush?
Well, you can read the book. But it's just basically salt water. It's a very heavy salt water. But really, the Master Cleanse, it's called the Master Cleanse by Tom Woloshin. I can send it to you, Janet. I'll send you a link, or Lene. Okay. I'm sure Lene can too. But when you're doing the Master Cleanse, actually, you're supposed to do the saltwater flush every morning. Either that or do another one of the like the, or what's it called? The quick Jen. What's it called? You know what I mean? What's the Lene, you just did it too.
Herbal laxative. It's called Swiss.
But what's it called? Swiss Cress. Yes. Thank you. That's what's right. Herbal laxative.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark and I both just did it and felt great. And so I'm not sure he'll do it again. I probably will at some point. But I can let you borrow the book, Janet.
Oh, okay, that'd
It's
be great.
really, really helpful to read the book. I highly recommend, and Shelby said that too. And like what Jen put in the comments, it's what I love about it is it's not just a physical cleanse, it's also an emotional cleanse. You end up facing a lot of your issues and finding out why you eat.
Oh, I don't have issues in my life.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about you, Janet. No, I just didn't talk about me.
Well, Sherry, I don't know if anybody has told Janet that Tom does the master cleanse with a group of people too, and that's really, really helpful. So if somebody has the link to give her for that,
Yes.
that's really
Yes.
great.
And that's just about to start. That's what I'm doing. Thanks, Barb. Yeah, he's just about to start a new one. So
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's
Maybe
it's
that
so
would-
much. I love doing it with Tom because he wrote the book. And he's a wealth. And by the way, he's the one who introduced the Master Cleanse to Wayne Dyer and to Gary Young. And
Oh.
and Gary Young did the Master Cleanse for over like 275 days, and that's how he was able to walk again after his crippling accident
What?
doing the Master Cleanse.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna mute myself now.
Any other questions? Thoughts? I will let you know that right along with all that we've talked about tonight, wellness, staying above the wellness line, we have a great round of classes for you in September. Next week, we're going to do a class on the raindrop technique. And that is another really great way to stay above the wellness line and to treat your body. So we're going to talk about the raindrop next week. The week after that, we're going to deal with feelings. So there you go. That helps you stay up there. And then the week after that is our monthly Mindset Matters class. We do a mindset class every month because we're so in love with that and think it's so important. And then lastly, we're going to do a Ningxia Red class. And I'm telling you, that's one of the mainstays. I think that all of us would agree that that's your whole body wellness right there. So, yeah, I hope you guys can join us on all of this.
Thank you, everybody. It was wonderful information. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for being here, Barb.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, I wanna-
And make sure, invite your people. This is Team YL, so anybody that you know, whether they're a customer already or whether they're not, maybe they're thinking about it and they have some things going on. We'd love to have them join us. So
Okay, thank you. I appreciate all that you're teaching.
we love it.
Yes, thank you so much. This was really, I love hearing all your different voices and stories. I love the way you guys do these classes. This was another good one. Great one. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you all so much for being here. And we hope to see you next week. Stay well.
Thanks, ladies.